Hi, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ann and this is All the Budgeting. On this channel, I do paycheck cash stuffings, side hustle cash stuffings, cash condensings, and then I always close out my budget every month, which includes a net worth calculation. So if that is interesting to you, I do hope that you consider subscribing, liking, commenting, all of those things. All right, so today I am doing my December closeout. It is actually, as I'm filming this, it is January 3rd, so Happy New Year to everybody. I personally am very excited for 2025, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as I go through this video, but I think it's going to be a really great year for me from a budget perspective, from a business perspective. So I am super excited to be here in 2025. So, okay, so as always, I'm going to start with my closeout sheets, which is looking at what I started the month with in terms of what was in my envelopes and what I'm ending the month with. I will then do my net worth calculation, and then I'm just going to talk about a couple of things that I'm doing differently in 2025 in terms of my budget. Not a ton of changes, just a couple little tweaks. So, all right, so let's move this over here. So we're going to start with my priority one binder. And so starting in emergency, I started the month with 1,000 and I'm ending with 5, 550, 6, 20, 40, 60, 87. So I did have to dip into emergency a little bit. So that went down 300. Health started with 250, ending with 1, 2, 3. So that went up 50. Extra week started with 300, ending with 100, because I am actually just coming off of one of those extra week periods. So that went down 200. Reduce this just a smidge. Home maintenance started with 225, ending with 150. So that went down 75. I'm gonna get my calculator over here for when I need it. Home improvement started with 630, ending with 5, 6, 650, 70, 90. So that went up 60. Car maintenance started with 185, ending with 1, 2, 20, 45. So that went up 60. Pet care started with 25, ending with 50, 70, 85. So that went up 60. And then electronics started with 260, ending with 1, 2, actually, you know what? I did spend this 300. I bought a new laptop. So, ending with 20. So that went down 240. Okay, moving into priority 2. So these first few envelopes I don't include because they're kind of rotating expenses. So subscriptions, so started with 680 and I'm ending with 165 plus 140 plus 180 plus 40 plus 50 plus 1, 210. No, that's wrong. 165 plus 140 plus 180 plus 40 plus 50 plus 210 is 785. So that went up 105. Extra debt started with nothing, ending with 150, 70, 80. Vacation ending, I started with 320, ending with 1, 2, 3, 50, 75. So that went up 55. Christmas started with 1,000 and it is currently empty. So that went down 1,000. Holiday dinner started with nothing, ending with 55. And then gifts started with 170, ending with 50, 100, 200, 225. So that went up 55. Okay. In priority 3, entertainment started with 65, ended with 55. So that went down 10. Clothes started with 120, ending with 150. So that went up 30. Beauty started with 60, ending with 50, 70, 90. So that went up 30. And then miscellaneous started with 15, ended with 20, 45. And then planner stuff started with 100 and ending with 100. So there's no change there. All right, and then finally my business binder. So taxes is currently empty because I did take that money and put it in the bank. I did mean to create a placeholder, but so that started with 1710 and it ended with 1870. So that went up 160. Subscriptions, I don't believe, no, I know that that didn't change. So that started with 1370, ended with 1370. Solo ads started with 385, ended with 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 70, 85. So 485. So that went up 100. Paid ads started with 285, ended with 1, 2, 3, 50, 70, 85. So that went up 100. And then tools and services started with 90, ending with 90. So no change there. Okay, so I started the month with a total of 9,245 in my envelopes, and so I'm going to speed this part up and I'm going to total up my ending balances to see what I'm left with. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am ending with 8,550. And so that was a reduction of $695. All right, so now I'm going to lasso this amount, copy it, and bring it over to my net worth. Okay, so last month my net worth was $232,726, and so as usual, I have pre-populated some of these amounts to make this a little bit faster. So as we just saw in my envelopes, I have a total of 8,550. My estimated house value based on Zillow.com is $246,300. My estimated trade-in value of my car is $18,901. My 401k balance as of today was $112,964. And then I have $150 in a savings account. So let me total these up. All right, so my total assets comes to $386,865. Now moving on to my liabilities, my current bankruptcy balance is $25,515. Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. Everything just shut down. So on my liabilities, my bankruptcy is $25,515. My current principal on my mortgage is $116,127. I owe $11,884 on a 401k loan, and I owe $3,150 of medical debt to my network. They offer no interest financing. So let's total these up. Okay, so my total liabilities comes to $156,676. So now to get my net worth, I'm going to subtract my liabilities from my assets. So $386,865 minus $156,676. So I think I had a slight reduction in my net worth. That's okay, it happens. So my new net worth is $230,189. And so I'm going to get the amount changed. So I'm going to subtract last month's net worth from this. So $230,189 minus $232,726 is a negative $2,537. And to get my percentage change, then I'm going to divide the amount changed by last month's net worth. So negative 2,537 divided by 232,726. So that went down negative 1%. But I do want to take a look at what my overall gain in net worth was for the year. So I'm going to take this month's net worth, so $230,189, and then I'm going to look at what was my net worth in January. And so it was minus $151,680. So my net worth grew this year by $78,509. And within this year, I had a family wedding, and then Christmas, holiday dinner, all of these things. I had some significant medical stuff happening, which increased my liabilities. And so, life happens, but having the money saved for within these categories has just really helped me so much in dealing with the things that happen. right? So I saved for my nephew's wedding. There wasn't any pressure there because I had the money saved, a good month or two before the wedding happened, right? So it was all just covered. I had Christmas saved for. I had Thanksgiving dinner saved for. In the past, I would have put all that stuff on credit cards, and that's why I never got out of the credit card cycle, was because I was not saving for these life events and for these things that happened. And so I was always having to put things on credit cards. So I will maintain that this method of budgeting has completely, saved my life, really. I know that sounds dramatic, but it really has. So I'm so grateful that I found it. Okay, so let's talk about my 2025 budget. So in general, nothing much has changed. I'm still getting paid twice a month, and so I will continue to budget, and for the most part, I'm going to have the same envelopes. I'm going to add one envelope into the mix, not in the first paycheck stuffing, but in the second one, just because that's when I typically change my envelopes. But I want to start putting aside to get 1 month ahead in my bills. So in other words, I would like to have, theoretically, right, if I was 1 month ahead, I would have had all of the money for January's bills in December. So then in January, I'm putting money aside for February. So to do that, I'm just going to start putting a little bit away each paycheck, just make it one of my sinking funds that I'm adding to. And the reason for that is because I am on track to be finished with my bankruptcy by November of this year, which would be 1 year early. It was a 5-year repayment, and this will be 4 years that I will have paid it back in. And once I am discharged from my bankruptcy, then it's about rebuilding my credit and, establishing. I don't really have a credit score right now because of this bankruptcy. So it's going to be about reestablishing that credit, which will mean getting a credit card and putting things on it and then paying them off right away, right? So that's kind of one of the things that you can do to reestablish your credit. So one of the things that is different is I have these debt payoff sheets. Oh, I thought I had filled this out for January. Where did I put this? I'm sorry. I thought I had filled all this out. But I guess I did not. So anyway, I have these debt payoff plans, and I will have in here, this is so weird. I know that I did it. Where did I do it? But so I'm going to have medical. So I'm going to first tackle medical, and that looks to be, I should be able to have that paid off in April. So then all the extra money will go towards my bankruptcy. That'll be the next thing that I pay off. And again, that is looking like I'm on target to have that paid off in November, especially with the extra money. And then after that, it is the 401k loan, and that should be paid off in like January, February of next year. Now that's the plan right now. So this is really bothering me though. Where did I have these? Oh, they're in here. For some reason, I put them in my 2024 budget planner, so I will transfer them over. So here's my medical debt, and so you can see this is what I started with, and then I also included the extra money that I have going towards it. So what is the balance if I, deduct the amount in my extra debt envelope towards it, right? So I won't put necessarily the extra debt right towards it, but you can see how it impacts, right? So for January, so I'm starting with a balance of $31.50, but when you subtract what I have in my extra debt envelope, it's actually $29.70. And then my payment is $90, but then when you include what I'm going to be able to put aside, it would be $805, right? And so you can see the impact that that extra money is going to have. Now, I'm not necessarily going to pay that towards the debt every single month. I might let it accrue a little bit, especially because I'm not being charged interest for this. So, but you can see here that if everything goes according to plan, but I will adjust this as we go each month, right? I'll adjust the balances and the payments. But so in April, I should have a zero balance again when you bring in everything that, all that extra money. So then the next debt would be my bankruptcy, right? And so for the first few months, it's just my regular payment, but then in April, I will start to be able to put aside extra. And so again, here you will see in November, that's when I'm expecting to see a zero balance. And then the last one is my 401k loan. I will start to be able to put money as extra money to it once the bankruptcy is paid off. But you can see that I'm not expecting to have that paid off by the end of this year, but I should be able to have it paid off by, I think it was January or February of next year. So I will be, in my budget closeout, I will be looking at these sheets to show you where I am and where things will be with that. So I don't know why I put them in my 2024 planner. I'll transfer these over to my 2025 and we will take a look at those, like I said, in the budget closeout. So, all right, so that does it for today's video. Next up will be my first paycheck stuffing for the month of January. All right, thanks. I hope you're having a great week.